Alright, this is Arian. This is a video how to get started with my Lions Tournament Practice Organizer, designed to make captains' lives easier. So basically this is all designed around loading comps and fits quickly and having as much information as possible on the sheet so that people aren't constantly asking you about stuff, and then also having it so that you can copy and paste around on the sheet without people yelling at you about how you've broken their precious conditional formatting. There are a lot of more detailed instructions on this ReadMe page. If you have more specific questions, you can go in on that and actually read it, but some of us don't enjoy reading and are intimidated by all that, so that's why I'm making this video. So just to kind of show you what this looks like, this is the interface. See, I had that already pre-filled out. These are all the same formula, so I can just do that. Now, if I just select the comp, it fills everything in with the warp ranges here, the link numbers, and the presets for the links, and then also all the fits off to the side. Got the opponent list here, the bans, ban order, and then as you're marking these, record the points differences. You record the wins and losses here. You've also got spaces for putting your warp ins. You can add more of these if you want, although why would you need to when you've got the whole carrot system right here? You do need to change the date, and actually first I'm going to change the names. This is a duplicate made from the main template. So say we're practicing against Eve rookies on September 9th. You change the date. You can either match this format, or the hot tip is if you go from largest to smallest, from year, month, day, that will basically always work. Alright, had a little budgie break there. Fill in the opponent. I've got these all pre-filled out in this version, but if you need to add more, you just go to the opponent list, click that link. I've set the practices into Poitat, and I've also got a link to the Move Me Finder. And I've got the pilots added here, also from drop-downs, but if you can add someone, it'll tell you that it's invalid, but let you do it. And then you just go over to the pilot list, or have them do it themselves. And now it's fine. And you'll see also this is tracked how many of these comps people are registered in. And then you don't have to ask like who's only flown once. You can see here these people have only flown once, silver hasn't flown any times, and that solves that. Other thing here is if you don't want to load the default, I need to fix that. So I've been playing around on this sheet already, but actually all of these have the exact same formula, and you can paste them just like the regular Control V. I just did it the fancy way because I want this to stay purple. And that's has all of them there. Oh yeah, that's right, because I've also changed that. But this is also the same formula. There. So you can say, actually, I don't want the default. I want to try something else. Please don't copy it, and just remove it so that people aren't copying it. And the alternative there is, say you actually want a different fit. You can swap it out. Just from this drop down. The other thing I'm going to show off here is, say that your opponent banned the Guardian. This will highlight in orange for any banned ship, and then also if you go over the hull limit, it'll highlight in yellow. There's also the separate function for if they're over on Logi somehow as well. But people tend to not do that. So since Guardian is banned, you can just do a swap here for the Oneros. That will blank out the warp distance just in case. Because occasionally you might have to change that. And it will also blank out the fit so that you're not putting in the Guardian fit and having someone take it anyway. And then if I had a Oneros fit loaded in, I could pick that from the drop down, but I don't at the moment. You see the pilot names are here so that people are copying the correct thing. Now, this is a formula, so this can't be copied into Eve. I'll just copy it and paste as values. If you copy it just like clicking on the cell, it still won't post into Eve, but if you double click and then select all and then copy, then you can paste it into Eve, no issue. These are also set up so that you can select all of them at once and paste values, and it won't interfere with anything else. And again, if you want these back for whatever reason, you can take the formula from any one of these other cells. They're all the same. The only thing that's specific to that spot is this actual drop-down menu. And same here, if you wanted to put in other links options, you can do that. If you want them to be the formula again, you just paste it as long as it's in the same column. And that's between all of these comps. And I should also note, perhaps, if you normally do best of ones and 8 of them, you should make 2 sheets, and call them sheet 1 and 2, and then change one of the sheets to be comps 5 through 8, again, so that they're unique combinations of date and comp number, especially if you're doing any kind of data handling afterward. Now to actually add in the comps, you go to the comp library. I've kind of indicated here which ones calculate automatically and which ones you have to add. And each one has to have the same name for all the ships in the comp. It has to have the numbers 1 through 10, and it has to have the ships. That's kind of the most important part. And over here it will warn you about if you've gone over the hull size limit or if something's wrong with your names. So I'm just going to show you how to add in a comp here. You see now it's warning you, or warning me that there's no name, so it can't be looked up in the drop-down menu. And now it's saying, oh, you don't have 10 of these. Then if I were to name another comp the same thing, it would warn you that you have too many. I'll put in the warp in ranges. And then I had to put in the links. Oop, wrong rapid. And then you set the default fit, and all the fits that you have available will be in the same row ranging off to the right. And you pick it from the drop-down menu here. So I don't have any of these fits, so I need to add one. So I go over to the fit library. I've got a Nighthawk fit that I've copied from somewhere. And now note, you do have to double click inside, otherwise it will go onto each line. You want it all in one cell. Set this to Nighthawk. Now this is warning me that this fit doesn't have a name, so I can't look it up. I'll give it some kind of, like, ideally more descriptive name than this, but for now, you know, this is quite a long fit, so you can't get it all in one window here. If you want to scroll down and change something, you just use the down arrow. If you wanted to make more spaces in here, you just hold Control and Enter. And that kind of tip is also on the ReadMe page under General Tips. So this is now ready to go, and I can pick it here. If I were to go down here, and see I've already been fooling around with this earlier, and I've got it ready here. And all the links are loaded. So that's basically all the important stuff. There's also like a lot of tips listed around in different spots on here. Oh yeah, if you get down to the bottom of the page, first of all, these colors aren't just because they're pretty, it's also to give a little bit more of an indication if you're on a different comp or if you're on the wrong comp. But if you surprise have an extra comp or you're rerunning something, you can just unhide these rows and you've got the secret bonus comp 5. Just so you don't have to like make a whole new sheet. And then down at the bottom there's this data reporting section that will fill out as you're entering in results above. And at the end you click somewhere that's not inside of a table, select all, copy, and paste as values, which will make it so that when you're editing stuff on other pages, it doesn't change it here, and it preserves it all as it was the day you practiced it. And that will also let you paste this data section for the data handling handling, which will be a different video. Now, the other page is the plain template. That's if you don't want to mess around with predefining comps. You can just enter in everything manually, although I did leave this so you can enter in fits from the drop down if you want, but you can take those formulas out too if you so choose. Let's see, the video library, it's also like very optional. It was a requested feature. Most people just use Discord. Matchup history, it can be useful to just list what your comp was and the things that it faced up against with like a link to the sheet. And let's see, sheets and named ranges, so you could set it to like if this were actually September 9th, and that gives you a nice overview of what things have won and lost against. The actual points values aren't important because like just the binary win-loss is a lot more informative. Okay, opponent list covered. Static values, if there's like a points change, you can change it here, or you can probably copy it from my sheet once I change it, because I keep updating this template. Configurables, if you want to change like the archetype lists. There's also the descriptions, and you can also change this and adapt the sheet for other tournaments by changing the information here. And fitting options you don't have to worry about. Just forget about it. It's okay. So yeah, that's basically everything that's useful to know. I hope this has been helpful and lowered the barrier to entry somewhat. And yeah, my goal is that this should be as easy as possible for anyone who's basically familiar with Google Sheets, but not like a spreadsheet wizard. I'm not sure that I mentioned also, you can copy and paste basically everything into a different comp, and it should still work for everything, for like bans and hull detection and everything. It's pretty hard to break by just copying and pasting. But yeah, thanks for watching, and good luck, have fun.